Question. Do you think you're up to a challenge? Let's talk about it. Back in a minute. Hi, sorry about the technical problem there. Hi, this is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. Let's talk about being up to the challenge. What is the challenge this time? This is a challenge for anyone viewing. This is not about a video content creator challenge. This is a viewer challenge, okay? And the challenge is this. Do you think that you can stretch $7 for 3 days of meals? That means breakfast, lunch, dinner for $7. And yes, even nowadays. But before we get into that, I just want to say that I'd like to take a moment, first of all, to thank anyone that has ever in their life contributed to food pantries and food banks. One of my favorites is feedingamerica.org. And I highly recommend and suggest that you go there. Do you know that for the cost of $1, you can actually help feed or create 10 meals stretched for $1 donation? $1. Just saying, just saying. This is a close organization to my heart, and I got a little story for you why. When I was a school teacher, we had started to serve breakfast, free breakfast, and free lunches at school. And this was back in the 80s and the early 90s. Okay. So it was kind of like a new thing for that school. Didn't cost the parents a dime. Making a long story short, it was last day of school, and one of my students seemed very sad. I was like, aren't you happy? Summer's here, no school for 2 months. Well, my sweet student said, it's not that. First of all, I'm going to miss you, which was very sweet. But in addition to that, and this really broke my heart, the child was upset because he wouldn't be able to eat breakfast or lunch that day, every day, for 2 months. This was back then. I never forgot that. It made such an impact to me that it made me pick up my head and come outside of myself and my little world of, yes, I'm trying to stretch a buck. Yes, it's tough for myself too. Yes, school teachers don't make a lot, especially in the parochial private schools. They really don't. They don't. Just fact, but not complaining, just explaining. However, even with all that, it made me come outside of myself and pay a little more attention. So thank you for anyone that has generosity to food pantries and food banks. Now, if you go to the feedingamerica.org website, you will learn a lot of things that will be of interest. And if something sparks for you to give some sort of help, God bless you. You could do a one-time donation. If you're not comfortable with their monthly donation, if you can't, you really can't, because I know, believe me, I know times are challenging. That's why I do the videos that I do all the time. But if somehow you can do it, because there are many viewers that watch this that more than can help, in my honest opinion. And you know it. You know it in the bottom of your heart you could. So I hope that this video sparks a little. Just think of that young man, and I'll never forget him. That young man that said he can't eat breakfast or lunch for 2 months till school comes back. That broke my heart. Okay. Just saying, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that goes on right here under our nose. Don't have to go bazillion miles away for it, right here. And I don't know. I was taught charity begins at home, but just saying. Okay, so getting back to the challenge, reeling it back in. Okay. Do you think although I have a lot of confidence in my viewers, I bet a lot of you can, but I think there are a few that might have a challenge. Make 9 meals out of $7. When I originally opened this challenge a couple of years back, and I laughed at that video because I'm like, who was that person? I want to watch that video. But the message was good. Okay, at that time it was a $5 challenge, but because of inflation, I raised the challenge to a whopping 7. And this may be a game to some of us, but it's not to many of us. We have to do something about this. I'm trying to do my part. And for all those that do their part, thank you so much. So let's see if you could do it. Let me know in about 1 week. I'm going to come back to the subject. Then I'm going to ask your results. Just let me know if you try to do the $7 3-day 9-meal challenge. Let me know. I know I can count on you guys. You guys are amazing. Yeah, it's not that I want anyone to feel, maybe I do want us to feel a little badly for a second, because despite all the stuff that, we hear on the news, and yes, and this is rising and that is rising, when you learn that just $1 can get 10 meals, 10 meals. Can you get 10 meals for $1? That's incredible. And the problem right now is that in actuality, that there's like more people, and it really breaks my heart to even say this, more people right now are showing up at these food banks and food pantries. Some of them, many of them, are first timers who would never in their life would have ever dreamed that that day would come. Like we talk a lot about, stockpiling. This is part of it. Hey, listen, I'm all for prevention. So keep in mind whenever there is a better time, a sale going on, this is why I say, stock up, stock up. Doesn't have to be a huge stockpile. As far as getting it in the first place, you could start small is what I'm trying to say. Start though. Get started. I really wonder in the back of my mind, how many people that are first time food pantry, food bank visitors, whatever, I wonder how many of them said to themselves, gee, you know what? Too bad I didn't start a stockpile when times were better, because this is life. And in real life, sometimes the better and sometimes the worst. It's not always great. It's not. It's up and down, right? It's not always bad either, But I feel in my heart of hearts, God is pressuring me, speaking to me to say this message. And I just have to do it. So let's try it by, if you are fortunate enough and never had to go through this, try this experiment, especially you folks that take it for granted. I don't mean to say you folks, I hate that terminology, but people who may be blessed all the time. Try it for the heck of it. How can you make 9 meals out of $7 for 3 days? Guess what? For some people, this is real and not a game. We need to never, ever forget that, and always, always count our blessings. Okay? And for those that can manage on $7 because it's not a game, God bless every single one of you, and always, always, always know that we can help each other. We can help each other. How can we help each other? As I'll always say it, one can at a time. Thank you so much. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for viewing. Why? Because I really do appreciate you. Come back in the future for some more savings, tips, and tricks. And I know we can do this. Let's see if you're up to the challenge. I'm going to get my outro if I could find it. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Bye-bye.